All right, birthday Howard, birthday Howard Shy, Kyle how about Sound Shy, by Sound Kakadash, Divine the Elder Apostle of the Great Milton Rule, and their salutations to the oxen put in the truth about the four corners of the earth, to the spirit of power, how about Sound Shy, the hope won't let, and who the world and call God, his name Yahweh, and who the world and call truth of Christ, name Howard Shy. The Hebrew Israelite that consist of the so-called Negro, Latino, and American Indian. And those in line descendants go back to the 12 tribe of Israel due to the scattering among the nations about the four corners of the earth, to the fair power by South Tribe. And it's Mahari Comp, the Great Millstone, Los Angeles camp, back with Alexis, and Alvin Dollar will be edifying to the fear and power Yahweh South Shai, by Shah Kakadash, the Holy Spirit. Alright? It's about the mini earthquake that been happening in California as of late, for the last 2 weeks. Alright, and it's from articles. Title is How Many Warnings is California Going to Get Before the Big One Finally Strikes? Alright, and there have been things, been living in California all my life. 39 now, they've been saying the big one's gonna happen. They've been saying that for the last 30 years. Alright. And great good, we need to do earthquake drills, all that. Need to bring an emergency bag to school to have all your little food in it and stuff. So in case you get stuck at school, you'll have your canned good and whatnot, so you can have food if you're trapped. But nonetheless, they've been saying about this for the last 30 years, about the big one, all right? The Lord willing, the big one do happen, all right? Doom. Okay, because we know earthquake is of the Lord, all right? Earthquake is of how much I'll try doing, all right? Part of the judgment, all right? It's earthquake and part of prophecy as well, okay? I just had an article. It's from 2 days ago. KTLA, the seismologists warn of increasing earthquake activity in Southern California. Right, a little bit like I said, as of late, we've been having a lot of earthquake activity. All right, almost every other day. It's not every day, Let's play this video. Fair use.
And action! The action's happening at your Ford dealer, and Ford's action heroes are ready to perform. Our F-Series, America's best-selling trucks with superpowers only Ford can offer. Our Mustang Mach-E with electrifying performance that blasts past gas.
Another earthquake has rattled the nerves of Southern California residents. This one was a 4.4 magnitude quake. It hit about 12:20 yesterday afternoon near Highland Park.
Joining us now, world-renowned seismologist Dr. Lucy Jones. Dr. Jones, good morning.
Good morning. Good to be here.
Good to have you. So yesterday's quake, to me, felt stronger than a lot of recent quakes. So first question, why? And then the second question, it occurred on the Puente Hills thrust fault system. Why do we need to know about that fault system? What's important to know about it?
They're actually related questions. It felt stronger because you were closer. The magnitude just tells you how much energy is released. How much energy gets to you depends a lot on how far away you are from the fault. And that fault runs right through Los Angeles, which is why we need to be concerned about it. It has the potential for a very large earthquake. It's been modeled up to magnitude 7.5. That model suggested an order of magnitude higher death toll than we would see from the San Andreas because it is so much closer to people.
Oh dear, okay. And Dr. Jones, we have had a few decent-sized earthquakes in California and also Nevada just in recent weeks. Has there been increased seismic activity, and if so, what could potentially be causing it?
Okay, yes, the last year, the 2024 has had more earthquakes than any year we've seen since 1988, which is actually a statement. The last 20 years have been particularly quiet here in Southern California. If you look over the long-term history, we usually have more earthquakes than we've been having for the last decade or two. So this year is now an active year again, much like we used to see. And, you know, when you have a lot of earthquakes, you do tend to have a lot of earthquakes. It doesn't tell us, oh, an earthquake's coming here. But it does seem like we should be expecting to continue at a higher rate until it goes back down again.
And does that mean that it is releasing some pressure and taking us further away from the big one or not?
Unfortunately, no. All right. So the most constant feature of earthquakes is that the relative number of large to small is a constant. That for every magnitude 7, you have 10 magnitude 6s, 100 magnitude 5s, 1,000 magnitude 4s, etc. So if your rate of 4s goes up, your chance of having a bigger one would go up about the same amount. And the bigger ones release so much more energy than the small ones that given that ratio stays constant, you can never replace the big ones with the small ones.
Okay, well, it's always a good time to remind people what exactly to do in an earthquake. So if people get the warning on their phones in time, can you just go over what they should do in various situations? If you're at home, if you're driving in the car, if you're at work, if you're on a TV set?
Well, you guys at least have a desk you can go under, right?
Yeah,
Just in
true.
case the lights above you start coming down. And that's really true for everybody. We have built our houses and buildings in California to not collapse. And overwhelmingly, that's true. Trying to get out of a building is very, very dangerous. We see broken legs and sprained ankles from people trying to run when the earth is going to throw them to the ground. So the best thing to do is to get under a sturdy table that'll protect you from flying objects. And in the really, really rare case that there might actually be some collapsing of a building, the tables do a great job of actually protecting you from that and giving you a safe place to wait to be dug back out in that very, very rare situation. So drop, cover, hold on, and at all possible. If you're in a car, you probably aren't going to feel it unless it's really big. I was parking my car when the earthquake happened yesterday and had no idea that we'd had an earthquake till I started getting phone calls. But in a really strong earthquake, you'll start feeling like you're losing control of the car. That happened to me in Whittier Narrows, and it took realizing that the light poles were moving to realize it was an earthquake and not some problem with my steering. So you want to try and slow down. Don't brake suddenly, but try to slow down and pull to the side of the road if you're getting strong enough shaking to affect your driving.
A few years ago, you worked very closely with the city of Los Angeles to help us prepare for the big one in terms of construction and all of that. Can you give us a sense of where things are now? Has the city responded?
Yeah, listen up on that. You know, there already been an increase at standard videos. All right, so you've seen the properties that are happening. Okay, and on Matthew 24, the house Christ speaking, who the world literally called Jesus Christ. All right, straight written in red. It goes down to verse 7, for nation shall rise against nations and kingdom against kingdom. That's going on right now. All these different countries preparing to go at it with each other, all right, for World War III. Okay, it's also property as well. And there shall be famines, and that's a rising too, the whole empire. And who already talking about a major lockdown. Okay, it's gonna be bigger than what happened in 2019. Okay, well, yeah, in 2019, basically going into 2020. All right, and pestilences blocking our family. Lack of food and pestilences, the empire blocking. And earthquake in diverse places, all right, in different places. Okay, and that's where we at with it. All right, and it's gonna increase. Okay, because all these are beginning of storm. We read that in the NLT. All right. But all this is on the first of the birth train with more to come. All right, so it means to be an increase, just like she said in the video. That's an increase, 4-point plus earthquake. It could be an increase, all right, of these things going on, all right, because the property state, all right. It's that it's the only, but all this is only the first of the birth pains. With more to come. In Second Esdras 15 to tell you how the birth pains shall not last for a moment. All right, it's going to increase as she's about to get a child. So as her contractions start to get closer, that's how the thing in the world is going to happen. All right, there'll be increase and more increased uptick of earthquake going on, and then it'll start getting bigger. Okay. This Second chapter 9 and 1. He answered me then, instead measured out the time diligently in itself within the prophecy. And without the part of the time past, which I have told you before, and that's why we read Matthew 24, verse 7. All right, that's part of the sign coming to pass. Then shall thou understand that it is the very same time where in the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Right, because it's not Mother Nature, it's not all these things that Esau even stated to go white man. You know, he's trying to get to the scientific of why it's going on, why it's happening. Like the news anchor said, why are these things happening? All right, but the Lord is making it happen. All right, there don't need to be no scientific explanation of energy being released and all that. Okay, we know that the Lord is doing these things. That's the visitation of his coming. Okay, Isaiah 29 and 6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord, Yahweh shall try to host with thunder and with earthquake. All right. So that's why these things are happening. All right. The angels are working. All right. And cause these things to happen. All right. It's the uphold. All right. It's the army. All right. It's, I believe it's Tadabat. Tadabaya. Not Tadabaya. Tadabat. Can't remember. So, yeah, Tadabai. Alright. Yeah, Tadabai is army. Alright, it's an angel. Okay. And great noise with storm and tempest and a flame of devouring fires. Alright. Know that the Lord is the one that having these things happen on the earth. Alright. That's him visiting the earth. Alright. Via the angels are stirring instead of these things up to happen, to take place on the earth, to fulfill prophecies. Alright. There's one more. That's it. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it on that, you know. So that's why these things are happening. And you're going to see an increase, all right, of these earthquakes because of the bird change, all right. They're not going to slap for a moment. So that's Shalom.